Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us vs. Hurt. Thank you so much for joining this video. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to bring you a new video every day at 3:30. We're trying to, if it's not a live stream, we'll work on bringing you just a daily video. I want to thank all the people that have subscribed so far. You know, this channel is a little bit over a year old, and we're over 2,000 subscribers, and we're trying to bring the Us vs. Hurt community together. I have a link below in the description for our free options trading group. Just click that link below if you want to join that. We're growing daily, growing fast, and I want to thank everyone for who's contributed to that. I want to thank you guys so much. If you're just joining into this, if you're just joining in here, thanks for joining, and let's get to it. I wanted to kind of talk about why did I want to start trading? Why did I want to learn how to invest? And people have all different kinds of stories, so I kind of wanted to share mine. And you know, basically, it kind of starts going back to the beginning. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I've always been an entrepreneur. You know, back in the day, you know, in the 90s, basketball was big. I was flipping basketball cards, Michael Jordan, Shaq, all those guys, and I'd go into that, and then you know, Beanie Babies and Pokemon cards, and I was selling Beanie Babies, and you know, I think 10 years old or something like that, and didn't have a bank account, flipping Beanie Babies on. They didn't even have eBay at the time. There was some other weird site that I was on. I did eventually move on to eBay. There was some other marketplace that I was on that I was flipping, and you know, I was like 10 years old making $500 profits on Beanie Babies, which was insane. I knew what they were worth. You know, buying them from other kids in the neighborhood, just selling them for quadruple, you know, 100%, 400% returns. It was just ridiculous. So I've owned a company since 2008. I've been an entrepreneur, and I don't mean just I've started something. I've been working for myself since 2008, and I started a web company in 2008. It's just been crazy. And you know, since 2008, people are like, why did you start a business during the recession? I mean, things weren't good. A lot of things that I tried didn't work out. A lot of things that I tried did work out. And I was always interested in, you know, buying and selling. And buying and selling, I've done everything from selling T-shirts, you name it. I actually, at one point, I contemplated drop shipping cheesecakes to people from my parents' house, and it was just, I've tried everything. The one thing that I really like is when kind of like gives me that high is that somebody who's in need of your service or product, they enjoy that, they give you money for it, and you move on, and like, hey, you can do this. You can do something that you love. You can do something and get paid. You can do something and have their free time. You know, for me, you know, trading and working for myself, all that's not really about the money. It's about having the freedom to do what I want to do. You know, you can have, you know, as many billions of dollars as you want, but if you're not happy, if you're not doing what you want to do, you know, you're going to learn the hard way. Like, too many of us are clocking in, clocking out, and not really happy with where we are. And I actually, in 2008, I left my job with only $200 in my bank account, and I just took the leap of faith, and you know, we just grinded hard the last 10 years, and that's what I've been doing. But what's really been getting me interested in the financial markets is I've always been interested in public companies. I've always been interested in learning how they raise money, how do they get cash, you know, how do these people not post profits and still be in business and their stock goes up? I mean, things like that's always just really intrigued me. It's just really intrigued me on the way how these markets work, why stocks go down, why they go up, what kind of product that they offer, what significance is that, and all those little details, all those little things really just wanted to go in there. But you know, from a financial aspect, I was wondering is, hey, I want to make money in my spare time, or generate another income stream. So basically, you know, I never really like having just one income stream. You know, if you just have one job and you get fired, what are you gonna do? You know, hey Joey, I'll take some questions at the end here. You know, I always wanted to have more than one income stream. I have multiple income streams now, and trading is one of them. And you know, I want to thank you guys all for you know, pushing me to do this YouTube channel and the success that this YouTube channel is growing. And as you can tell, I'm very an introverted person. So doing these kind of things are definitely very hard for me. But I was always interested in multiple streams of income and how that works out. And the one thing that I found out through my experience of everything, the one thing that I love about trading is there's no inventory and there's no overhead. So I don't need to have an office. I don't need to buy 1,000 t-shirts to make a profit. I just need my computer, the platform, the internet, and it's very simple. I mean, anyone can do it. I mean, yes, you do need some money to get started. But if you're going to invest in t-shirts or any other business, it's pretty much the same thing. You invest into your brokerage account, you invest in what you're doing here. And that's really what, I really liked about it is, hey, there's someone on the other side that wants to buy what I have for more than what I paid for it. And that's great. And it's the same thing, just like any other business. A lot of people think of investing as risky, or they think of it as they don't understand. And if you, just like any other business, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to fail. If you don't know the market for t-shirts, you're going to fail. If you don't know the market, let's say you're selling combs or razors or whatever the case is, you're going to fail. Like if you don't know how the stock market works, if you don't know how options work, if you don't know how stocks work, you're going to fail, because there's a very experienced traders, and not even talking about the robots or anything like that. There's a lot of experienced traders, and if you're new to it, it's very, very overwhelming, and you just, you're going to fail just like any other business. If I kind of treat my brokerage account as a business, my P&L as a business is, am I making money this month? Am I losing money this month? Why did I make money? Why did I lose money? Just like you would ask that in any business that you're in right now. So, that's really why I liked it. And also being like an introvert is I don't have to talk to anybody. Like I don't have to go to a meeting to make money. I just have to trade some options, trade some stocks, invest in some things. But I mean, in the background, a lot of this work you do, the research of the companies and all this you do on your own time. A lot of the research that I do is always at night. And then during the day I have the charts open while I'm working and doing some other things, and posting videos or whatever the case is. But that's really what brought me into the markets. And also it's something that I really enjoy and something that I've gotten really good at. And if you're really good at something that you really enjoy, you just want to keep doing that. And thankfully, like my hobby generates money, unlike, if I was playing golf or doing something like that, it doesn't necessarily bring in a whole lot of cash. You're out there spending a lot of time, spending a lot of money. And my hobbies as like an entrepreneur have always been around making products, being creative, being a creator, making something happen. And that's what I enjoy doing. And that's really why I got involved into trading. It kind of hit all the bullet points for my personality. And I've been doing really well at it. And that's the main reasons why I like to trade options, or I like to trade stocks. Yes, I do invest a lot long-term. So I have a long-term account where I invest in stuff. And then I have, accounts that I day trade in, and stock accounts that I swing trade in. Always wanted to know. So Joey's asking, always wanted to know if you trade daily or swing options. Really depends. I really don't like to. I wouldn't say day trading. I will do if there's a big opportunity, but I mostly swing options, mainly because when I'm selling premium, you need that time and that theta decay to kick in, depending on what the strategy is. Now, if I'm day trading it, I'm most likely buying premium and I'm doing something within 10-30 minutes. I'm not looking to hold that position overnight, especially if it's earnings or anything crazy like that. So it depends on the goals. That's why I like trading options as well, is that there's a lot of flexibility in trading options. You can day trade it, you can easily swing trade it, you could buy premium, you can sell premium, and also you can put on neutral positions. And if depending what the market is doing. So there's a strategy for options in any market condition, up, down, sideways. Obviously, there's different risks involved. Obviously, if the market is, let's say, just going up, the IV is going to be little, as you noticed in like 2017. IV's kicked up a bit this year because we've had a lot of two-sided action here. But with options, you really can, trade in any market, up or down. You don't just have to, in a bear market, you just don't have to hold on and hope for the best. And that's what I really enjoy, is making money on both sides. Yes, some people say shorting's bad and stuff like that. All my long-term positions, I hold long. I don't have any long-term short positions. That's kind of a tricky thing to say. I don't have any long-term short positions. I'm not shorting anything long-term. Anytime that I short something, it's very short-term. So if it's like Tesla or Chipotle or anything like that, it's a very short-term trade. Now, I believe in the stock market. I believe in the economy, and we've had as you know, we've had a crazy bull run here for the last 10 years or so. So people keep calling the top, and that never works. So, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of my stock strategy, I'm bullish. In terms of the companies that I invest in, I'm bullish as well. If that changes, I definitely sell my stock, and then I just trade options on it, like I did with Tesla. And that's the other thing that I really like, is when I own options on, when I own stock on when I own shares on a particular stock, I also like to trade options on it, because I'm watching the stock, I'm watching how it moves. I've told many people this before. Each stock has its own opportunity, its own personality. So each stock has its own personality. You have to understand how that stock trades, and if you're already a shareholder, it just makes you way easier to trade options on, because hey, market dipped down a lot, I'm still holding shares, it's a good time to put on a call spread. Or if something got super extended, maybe it's time to short it. You can still make money on that position. You don't have to sell your stock. You can still make money on that company. Any thoughts? Joey wants to know, any thoughts on a market crash? Everyone has a thing. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the news right now. One thing I will say, earnings have been super strong. Like I said, this is my opinion only. Take it or leave it as you want. But if there's a market crash, we're not going to know it. Like, let me pull up SPX here. Let me make some changes to my graph here. As you can see here, we went on this crazy run in 2017, and then we dropped down. No one would have saw this coming, and that's the point of the crash. No one's going to see it coming. So the best thing is, what I've been doing, especially after this, I made a lot of money during this period, and here I lost some, but I was able to day trade and get out of some of my losing positions. So I was able to, minimize my losses. Yeah, I think I lost out of this whole crash like $500 or something. But, on this way up, the problem was people kept shorting and kept losing money, and then they waited for the crash, and eventually the crash happened. But I mean, this crash took like 3 years, so you have to understand how much money you have, and can you lose all the battles but win the war, kind of thing. And as you can see, we're still in an uptrend even with this crash here. Nobody saw it coming. We're still at all-time, pretty much at all-time highs, even with all the things going on in the news right now. But what I did ever since this crash was a huge learning lesson for me was, definitely minimizing risk and not having too much exposure. I don't trade as big as I did. I'm making decent returns. I'm not making as much money as you can, but I'm trading a lot safer these days due to the market. Look at 7, 8 in comparison between now and then, almost like a double top like now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really needs to push through in terms of the crash. Definitely does look very toppy here. However, the way that we got up here was a lot different than when we got here the first time. Here we just went up every day. This time took quite a few months to get back to where we wanted to get back to. Like, it wasn't easy. This took a lot of work. We made some quick gains, double topped here. Actually, if you look at triple top, so 1, 2, 3, and then went back down, and then came back up, finally busted above. And the market wants what the market wants. Nobody knows, not even Warren Buffett. He'll tell you he doesn't know if the market's going up or down. I mean, he's got some good ideas, obviously, because he's a multi-billionaire. But nobody knows. Nobody knows which way the market's going to go. You don't know. I mean, maybe next week could be the worst week since the Depression. I mean, you just don't know. You just got to trade safe and know your limits. If you only have $1,000, don't trade with $500. Don't trade with $800. And with options,
buying premium and then selling premium, there's a whole lot of ways. Like selling premium, you can do like a 1-for-1. You don't have to take a lot of risk reward. And buying premium, you can get a lot of good deals, especially when IV is low. So I don't want to make this video too long. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. I'll try to answer all the questions I could during this video, this live stream. Thank you all for joining, hearing me out, telling my story a little bit. Wanted to get to know you guys. I'd like to get to know you all better. So join the options trading group. We post a lot in there, have a lot of commentary. We post a lot of the trades in there. So I definitely appreciate you all. Thanks for joining Us versus Herd. It's always us versus Herd. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.